Welcome. Welcome in the class of Water Resources Engineering. Today I am going to discuss the topic of hydrologic cycle. How can you define the hydrologic cycle and what are the components of hydrologic cycle? So I am going to share the slide. See, so this is Water Resources Engineering subject and today I am going to discuss about the hydrologic cycle. So before going to discuss the hydrologic cycle, let's come to hydrology. What is this hydrology? I am using the annotation here. Hydrology, that means it is the made of two words. One is the hydro and second is the logy. Hydro, that means the water. Logy, that means the science. So it is the science of water. Hydrology, that means it is the science of water. Hydrology means science of water. So it deals with what? It deals with the occurrence, circulation and distribution of water. Distribution of water of the earth on the earth's surface and its atmosphere, that is the on, above and below the ground surface. Occurrence, circulation and distribution of water. It deals with the occurrence, circulation and distribution of water on the earth and earth's atmosphere, that is on, above and below the ground surface. So hydrology, that means it is the science of water and it deals with the distribution of water. Distribution of water of what? On the earth's surface, above it and below it. That is on the earth's surface and on its atmosphere. This is the hydrology. It is the science of water. It is with the occurrence, circulation and distribution of water. So this is about the hydrology. Now we are coming to the next one. So clearing all this. Okay, fine. Now next one is the hydrologic cycle. What is this hydrologic cycle? It is also called the water cycle. As the name suggests, hydrologic cycle. Hydrology already you know it is the science of water. That means the distribution of water. So cycle, here one word is cycle. Cycle, that means the point from where it starts the process and the process completes here. That is the point from where the process starts and going through the various process, it completes that process, that is completes one cycle. So this is called the one cycle. So here is the hydrologic cycle. That means movement of water through the various phases, through the various process, the point from where the water starts movement, and again the water joins the same point, then it completes the one cycle of movement of water. That is, it is the hydrologic cycle, or it's also called the water cycle. So this it is a phenomena where water moves through the three phases. What are the three phases? These three phases, that is the gas, liquid and solid. These are the three phases: gas, liquid and solid. So this is the phenomena, water cycle or hydrologic cycle. It is the phenomena where water moves through the three phases, that is the gas, liquid and solid, on, above and below the ground surface, and completes a full cycle. So this is called the hydrologic cycle. So this hydrologic cycle consists of various steps or various components. You can say this hydrologic cycle consists of various components, and these components that may be the evaporation, condensation, precipitation, transpiration, sublimation, infiltration, runoff, like this. We are going to discuss what are these components and how the occurrence happen. For the time being, just understand this hydrologic cycle. It is also called the water cycle, and in this hydrologic cycle, movement of water in the three phases, gas, liquid, and solid phases, occurs on, above, and below the ground surface, and it completes a full cycle. So this is the hydrologic cycle. We are moving to the next slide to better understanding of hydrologic cycle. So, see, a convenient way to describe the hydrologic cycle may be taken or may be started with the evaporation from oceans. This is the figure that shows the hydrologic cycle, and a starting point generally takes the ocean. This is the ocean. See, this is the whatever the blue color, it shows the water, and this part is shows the ocean. So a convenient way to describe the hydrologic cycle may be starting with the evaporation from ocean. So from the ocean, the starting point is taken as the ocean. That is the evaporation starts from the ocean. How this evaporation starts? That means, see, water in ocean evaporates due to heat energy provided by the solar radiation. Here is the solar radiation. When the sunlight strikes the ocean surface, then due to heat energy, this water begins evaporate, and the evaporation process takes place. So what is this evaporation process? This is the evaporation, that means the conversion of water phase to gaseous phase. When the water phase, that is the liquid phase, converts into the gaseous phase, then the process is called the evaporation. So here the evaporation starting point is taken as the ocean. From the ocean, evaporation starts due to the heat energy, due to the sunlight strikes on the ocean. So this is the here ocean evaporation from the oceans due to the heat energy, due to the sunlight. As the sunlight strikes the ocean surface, so the evaporation takes place. That is the conversion of water into the gaseous phase. So here the formation of cloud occurs. The water vapor moves upwards and forms clouds. Here the formation of cloud happens as the water vapor moves upwards and it forms the cloud. So next, so I am clearing this all the drawings. The next is this, what happens after the formation of clouds. While much of the cloud condense and fall back to the ocean as rain, and a part of the cloud is driven to the land area by winds. That means a part of this cloud falls back to the ocean as a rainfall, as a precipitation, and the part of this clouds driven to the land areas by the action of wind. So here you can see this cloud, part of this cloud is moved towards the land surfaces by the action of wind, while the part may be fall on the ocean in the form of precipitation, rainfall. So now this clouds move to the land surfaces. Next, what happens? Then this condensation process takes place. Condensation process, the part of the condensation process here also takes place, and the part here also takes place. What is this condensation process? That is the when the liquid phase, that is the water, this vapor phase converts into the liquid phase. When the vapor phase or gaseous phase converts into the liquid phase, then the process is called condensation. So here the condensation takes place. Because of this condensation, this precipitation happens. So after driven of the clouds condensation process takes place and the precipitation occurs on the land surfaces. After this, a part of the precipitation, that is this precipitation, a part of the precipitation may evaporate back to the atmosphere even while falling. That means this precipitation that falls on the ground surface, part of the precipitation in the process of falling, it may evaporate due to the heat energy in the atmosphere back to the atmosphere, and remaining part will falls on the ground surface. So finally precipitation moves down to the ground surface. Next is, see here, this is coming anyway. So at the this water surface, now the water surface reaches to the this land surface, that is the ground surface. Now the process of infiltration happens, that is here the brown color, it shows the land surface. As the water, that is the precipitation falls on the ground surface, the process of infiltration takes place, and because of this infiltration, this water moves down below the ground surface, and the after this infiltration, evaporation, and this transpiration. What is this transpiration? See, water surface, this, as the water surface falls on the ground surface, so here the transpiration process takes place. Transpiration is what? It is the movement of water, that is the movement of water or conversion of water from the liquid phase to gaseous phase through the plant. That is called the transpiration. Evaporation, that means the evaporation does not take place through the plants, but in both transpiration and evaporation, in both the processes, water, that is the liquid phase, converts into the gaseous phase. But in transpiration, it converts to the plants. In evaporation, it is not through the plants. It may be the water surface, it may be the bare lands, that is from the evaporation takes place. So this is the difference between the evaporation and transpiration. So after reaching the ground surface, it goes also below to the ground surface through the process of infiltration. And after that, the remaining water moves over the land surface, and it finally meets to the river through the various channels. And ultimately, this river meets to the ocean again, from where the process starts. So finally, the process from where the starts, that is the ocean is taken as the starting point. From the ocean, evaporation starts, and finally it moves to the atmosphere, comes to the ground surface, goes to the below the ground surface, and finally it comes to the river, and through the river it comes finally to the ocean. That is the point where it starts, the same point it meets. So in this way, one cycle completes. That's why it is called the hydrologic cycle. So here the various phenomena, that is the various process through which this movement of water happens. That is the evaporation process takes place, condensation process takes place, precipitation takes place, transpiration takes place, infiltration takes place, and finally moves to the river, and through the river it moves to the ocean. In this way, a complete cycle takes place. So this is called the hydrologic cycle. So this is the description part I have told you. The same description is here. So this is all about the hydrologic cycle. Now the next point, next topic I am going to discuss here about what is this catchment area or basin area. This catchment area, it is the area of land, draining into a stream or water course at a given location through a single outlet point is called the catchment area. That means it is the area of land that drains into a stream or water course. This is the area of catchment area, is the area of land that drains into a water course or a stream at a given location through a single outlet point. That is called the catchment area. If suppose this is the area of land, then the water movement of water takes place through various channels, and finally it joins the one main channel, and this main channel joins the outlet of the area. This is the outlet of the area, and this outlet of the area meets to the river or any water course. It may be lake, it may be pond. That is the water course. Generally, it may be the river. So this area is called the catchment area. This area is called the catchment area. So it is the area of land that drains into a stream or water course through a single outlet point. It's called the catchment area. It's also called the drainage area. It's also called the basin area. You can see here also. This is the catchment area. That means you can see this. This is the catchment area. These are the channels that joins to this main channel. This is your main channel. That all the small channels joins to this main channel, and this main channel, this is the catchment outlet, and this main channel joins the stream or river through the catchment outlet. So this area of land is called the watershed area, catchment area, simply watershed, catchment area, basin area. So this is the area of land. This is the area of land. This one is the area of land that joins the stream through a single outlet point. This is called the watershed. Now, see, this is the watershed, and the catchment area is separated from its neighbor area by a ridge called divide. This is called what? Divide. See, this is divide is this line. We can say this line, that is the outer part of this catchment area. This outer part of the catchment area that separates this area from its neighbor area. It's called the divide. This is called the divide. So this one is the divide, and this catchment area can be measured by the perimeter of topographic map. So for the today's session, this one is the topic, that is the hydrologic cycle and this catchment area. So thank you.